establishing this as best you can at the beginning is important. And then there's also the width of the molding here. I'm trying to be as light as possible. Looks like the width over here is about the same because I might have to make adjustments later. All right, so I'm also going to locate the bathtub, and I'm looking at the bottom of the bath compared to this molding, and the molding on the bottom and the side is the same, and the bottom of the bathtub is about here. And then I'm also going to look at the top of the shower curtain, which looks like it's, I'm going to compare the top of the shower curtain to the molding, bottom of the bath to the molding is about the same. So that and that are about the same. And then the door handle is right on the horizon line for me. It actually goes in though, like here. And I'm going to get the angle of that door. So there's the door handle somewhere on there. And then I'm also going to locate, just so I have some anchor points, if that's the top of the shower curtain and that's the door handle, this is like the little, that little part on the shower curtain. And then the other part of the shower curtain, if that's the bottom of the bath, it's about the same, a little higher. So that's kind of, the shower curtain is kind of there. There's also a window back there that I don't have to really worry about, but if I'm trying to get some detail, which can be nice in these, I want to get at the little window in there. And then also, I would see that molding. It's a little tricky in there. All right, so this is the horizon line, my vanishing point, my back anchor. Okay, I'm going to make sure that that line is a little, not dark, but clear. And don't worry about the lines being perfectly straight. This is not a time to really use a ruler. Just try to make them as straight as possible. If you need to use the ruler as a guideline, you can. So now comes this part where I'm looking for the guidelines. So the guidelines, which will help determine the space, the depth of the space goes from the vanishing point to each of these main corners. And this is when you can use a ruler. So now I'm going to put my ruler at the vanishing point and that left anchor. And I'm not going to draw this line dark, but I'm going to take my time and make sure it's on there as best as possible. I could draw it there really light and then like that. So I'm still using 3H right now. It's pretty light. Vanishing point, corner, vanishing point, corner. Vanishing point, corner. All right, so that should be the main space. And I'm going to double check it with angles, with my angling and sighting techniques, just to see if it looks like it's about accurate. I'm going to close one eye, put the pencil up to the corner, close the other eye, check my angle. So if I feel pretty good about that, I could map it in to make sure it's dark, but I might want to do a couple other things first. So one of the things I need to do is map out where the openings are. So I'm going to look at the length here versus the length here. There's a door here. So what's that length versus this length? So sighting is something you're going to want to use right now. This is shorter than this. So if this comes there, this is going to only be about there, okay? And the other opening is even shorter than that. So I need to find it's about the same width as this molding, which is like that. It's only there. And then all of these are these horizontals, if that's accurate, and that will help give it the illusion of space, the depth going in. That would be the vertical of that wall. Now I'm going to look at the space here and see how long is that measurement versus this one to help me. So I don't have to just depend on my eye because there's so much illusion here. So 1, 2, it's longer. It's about there. And that would be molding there. That would go up. That would be a vertical up. oh, to try to get where this door, so this does not go all the way up, right? It does not go all the way up. Don't do that. So the door goes only up to here. It doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling. So if I look at this door as one of my anchors, I'm going to see where this other door starts, and it's around that same part. But I need to get the angle of that opening of the door. And if I include other doors, they're going to be on that same guideline, because the doors all go up the same height for the I think for the most part, more or less. So this opening, if I can determine where that opening is, I can take my vanishing point, take the opening of the door, and draw a guideline, and that'll determine where the other doors are. So vanishing point, my other anchor, that should be the angle of the door. And I would determine where this opening is too. I could do that now, or I could see if this works. So let's pull that up. This goes up like that. This also goes up. This one goes up here. And this one goes up there. Okay, now I need to determine where the next one starts. So I'm going to look at the width of this versus this. So from here to here, I'll measure that, and I'll see how much it is here, if it's the same. So I'm going to measure this and see how big this other closet door is. So pencil to corner, finger to where that door ends, then put the pencil to corner. They're the same width. So this, that width, this here, right, that is the same as this. So this is where, and this is all of your sides are parallel. All of your verticals in your drawing are parallel to the side of the page. You don't want to angle it this way or that way. That's your structure, your known structure. So it can get confusing about which opening is where, so you got to kind of keep a little bit of a track here. But this also goes in a little bit, because that's the molding. And we'll go dark later, so it'll all become a little bit clearer. There's molding there. There's a little trim. This goes this way. And I'm going to look at a couple of details later, like this door handle to this door handle. So if I do a horizontal line over and I see how much more it's up, it looks like the door handle should be about, and I can also angle to angle. Looks like the door handle should be about there. And I'm going to do it light because I'm not exactly sure if that's going to be right, because it's all dependent on all these measurements. So that's the door handle. So here is the corner of the closet. This is that width there. There's some molding. This kind of goes in, although it's dark. There's some molding here. Goes up. It's hard to see all that's going on here, but there's a hinge somewhere around here. Maybe later you get to put some of that in. So if you have details on the door, this is an important one. So my door handle is too low. You want to check in with your horizon line. You want to check in with that horizon line, okay? So that's my vanishing point. That's my eye level, okay? You want to just determine that. My eye level is about where this back door handle is. And that back door handle, you can determine where it is in that door frame. You can measure door handle to bottom, door handle to top. It's about equal here and here. So this is my eye level. Now, I need to determine where this door handle is. It'll help me draw the other things on here, which are also above. I think this might, and now I'm doing an angle between this one and that one. So I'm going up and bringing it down. It's a little bit higher. It's actually there. So I'm going to erase this. Just make sure to say, oh, it's up here. Okay, that's why I did that light, because I want that opportunity to shift things around as I notice things. So all of my angles, so I'm going to draw some details on this door. If they're below that eye level, that horizon line, they're going to be angled up. And if they're above, they're going to be angled down. Okay? So I'm trying to determine this bottom part here. And I'm looking at, this one's almost horizontal. It's kind of like this. It's very, very narrow. So to draw it in there is almost impossible, but I'm gonna try to do it. And also, if you're going down like this or you're sitting up, it's gonna change. So if you're drawing down here and you look up, your eye level is lower now than if I was sitting upright and I'm noticing where that line is. So you have to be really careful with that vanishing point and the horizon line. Make sure you're looking at the same time. So you can also start to use sighting. You don't have to always do it. You could kind of combine your sighting and your angling technique and make sure you don't have to use a ruler. You could just kind of draw a straight line and make sure that that's there. And then this, you want to make sure that that's there, okay? And now this one up here, so there's a little bit, this one's basically on eye level. So that's gonna be like that. And the one at the top is up here, that's gonna go down there, right? So that's gonna, this vanishing point, as long as it's accurate, should help me with those angles. And then the bottom part is somewhere around here, something like that. And the door handle is actually gonna go out because it's bigger. It's odd to wanna draw it that way. It doesn't seem like it's accurate, but that door handle will be bigger. Okay, now this molding here, anything that's structurally parallel to this backspace, this back kind of anchor, there's not as, that's, you know, where my eye is looking at, and that wall, my eye is perpendicular to that wall. So all of these are going to be parallel to that. If it goes in, like here, 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 where else? This one, right? That all goes in. Now I want to decide, I know that that's going to be parallel to the bottom of the page, but I don't know how far in it's going to go. So this door is closed, and I want to sight how wide this is compared to something else. So maybe I'll do it to here. So I close one eye, I put the end there, one, it's like about half of that. So it's like this, maybe a little bit less. Seems like it's around there. And this is the bottom of the door. Now I want to know if I see the opening or if it just goes off the edge of the page. So I'm going to want to measure this. So I have like a door, a closet, a door. So I want to measure this opening compared to the closet to see if I'm going to put the side in there or not. So I'm going to measure this to this up in the space. You can use the tip of the pencil, put my finger there. It's about, so this is about the same as that. I think this goes here, I think. I'll draw it light so that I can see, and I'm just going to try to draw that line going up like that. You want to keep it parallel, so check in and make sure it's not leaning in or leaning back. So I'm going to kind of make it parallel. And this is going to be the top of the molding. There's a little space between the two, so I'll want to get that later. And then here is some details. This kind of goes in. So this here, let's say there's molding here, you could sight it, and you can also check that it goes that way. And if you wanted to use the ruler instead, you could put the ruler there and go like that. There's another one, let's say, that goes kind of like that. I need to determine where this side is in relationship to this. So this one's different. This is not a door, it's the wall structure. So this one does go all the way up. Okay, so I kind of do this sketchy loose line, so I'm not doing it dark first. Later I'm gonna make it darker so I can kind of understand where it is. And that one is going up to the corner. But then what happens is this goes in, okay? And that's parallel there, parallel, right? It's the same. And it's going to stop where this, if I did that measurement correctly, this wall goes up to the top, actually. Right, so then this, it's okay to go over, and then you just erase it and clean it up later. All right, now there's also a little kind of trap door to the attic. So if I did this correctly, this is going to be parallel. It goes almost all the way over. It's parallel. And then I want to look at maybe this to this, and then I can determine if I'm going to see that other line. How wide is that compared to this? So finger and pencil, finger and pencil. It's about the same width. So maybe I just just barely see it, like here. We could put it right at the top. And then this would kind of come over like that. And then you would erase that line there. That's going in. And then this kind of goes, and that might help give it that illusion of space. Later on, I'll make that darker. This is still 3H. So then let's do a little bit of the molding here too. This is good practice. So here, I'm gonna look at this bottom part of the molding and see, okay, here is the molding. Oh, also, so if you take, we know that we've determined that the molding is that high, okay? You wanna use that, this, and this, and like connect the dots here to here. And this is where you could just do a guideline here because you don't know what other molding might come up. So this is also probably the wrong angle. That's going to be bigger there. So if that's the molding, then it's going to come in here. And here it's going to go kind of in like that. And here kind of goes like that. Here come old flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got two eyeball, he one holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. Come together right now over me. He got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola. He said, I know you and you know me. One thing I can tell you, man, you got to be free. Come together right now over me. Production, he got Warren's gumboot, he got old no sideboard, he
one spinal cracker. He got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his arm, yeah, you could feel his disease. Come together right now. Hold for me.